This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everybody, Dr. Doug Smith here. Let's get right to it. This is our Monday through Thursday 1 o'clock podcast. Today is Monday, and we're kind of getting near the end of we're at the end of this first citizens petition. And if you look on the screen in front of you, you'll see what we're talking about today. And what I want to point out is that there are three articles on the screen. The first two. Brain dopamine response in human opioid addiction. Okay, that's Daglish. Okay, you see Daglish is the first author listed. And the second one is investigating expectation and rewards in human opioid addiction with, well, PET scans. Don't get buried in the science. PET scans, and that's Watson. Daglish is from 2009. Watson is from 2014. And so, what we've been talking about so far is that the experts, the psychiatrists, the addiction specialists, they have this thing called the brain disease model of addiction, and you can see that there on the bottom left of the page. Neurobiologic advances from the brain disease model of addiction. Yeah, right. And you can see the author there is Dr. Volkow, who's the executive director at NIDA, and in my opinion, one of the architects of the opioid crisis. And in her article, as we've discussed, and we've gone over this a number of times, in her article, as we've discussed, the brain disease model of addiction, or the dopamine theory of addiction, is a very simple theory to understand. That everything that's addictive, all drugs that are addictive, according to their model, according to the theory, cause a surge in brain dopamine. And this surge in brain dopamine happens to be in the reward centers of the brain. And this surge in brain dopamine is so wonderful that it just hijacks the brain. And now it's your brain telling you to go out and buy heroin and buy fentanyl and buy opioids. It's your brain telling you that, and you're just, you can't stop it. Now, for those of you who have experienced withdrawal, it's not your brain telling you to go out and get high. It's your body telling you you feel like you're about to die, and the only way to stop that horrible feeling is basically go out and buy something. Okay, so the psychiatrists just absolutely got it wrong. They saw the behavior, people going out and buying pills or heroin or fentanyl. They saw the behavior, but they misinterpreted it. And then they wrote a theory based on their misinterpretations. And so that's their whole theory, is that when you take an opioid, it causes a surge in dopamine in your brain. That's their whole theory. And the reason this is so important, this page in front of you is so important, is both the Daglish and the Watson studies, both these studies were done with humans. They weren't done with mice, weren't done with rats. They were done with humans. And both these studies gave an opioid to humans. Okay, both studies gave an opioid to humans. Hooked them up to an IV, gave it IV. Both these studies gave opioid to humans. And both of them were done using the PET scan, positron emission tomography, which is the gold standard of research. And in neither study was there any surge in dopamine detected. Now stop and think about that. Okay, the experts are saying that this whole opioid crisis, what's going on with our people, what's going on with you, is that when you take an opioid, you get a surge in dopamine. But yet, two studies showed no surge in dopamine. That just blows apart their theory. Their theory's wrong. Okay, their theory has now been disproven. Okay, the dopamine theory of addiction, when it comes to the opioids, has been disproven. The brain disease model of addiction, when it comes to the opioids, has been disproven. And it's been disproven by the two studies in front of you, Daglish from 2009 and Watson from 2014. And for the experts to run around and say, oh, it's the brain disease model of addiction. That's what's going on with these opioids. It's the brain disease model of addiction. It's the dopamine theory of addiction. We know exactly what's going on with these people. When they take an opioid, they get a surge in dopamine in their brain. And for them to run around and say that, it's dishonest. It's not true. It's a lie. They're lying. They're lying. Okay, they've said it so many times, I don't even realize they're lying anymore. That's how many times they've said it. Okay, you put dopamine theory of addiction in Google, and it's everywhere. Okay, nobody's challenging it. Okay, except us and Dr. David Nutt over in England. I can't find anybody else challenging it. Everybody's just accepting it. They're just accepting what these psychiatrists are saying without looking at the underlying science, and that's dangerous. Okay, and this is why Dr. Karl Popper warned us about the psychiatrist. And Dr. Karl Popper, the father of modern science, he came out and said, hey, they're no different than astrology and horoscopes. It's pseudoscience. It's based on, somebody's belief, what somebody thinks. It's not based on true science. That's what Dr. Karl Popper said. He said psychiatry is not based on true science. Now, of course, that angers psychiatrists, and they'll respond with tone and volume. Okay, but it's true, and I hope that you've gotten something out of this journey through the first citizens petition. Yes, there is a second citizens petition coming, but now what I wanted to do in between the two petitions, I want to go through the articles one by one and give people a chance to really understand some of the science. I hope you're enjoying these podcasts as much as I am, and we're beginning to send them out to people. We send them out every week in an email. So please like and subscribe us. Post these podcasts on your social media, everybody else's social media. And we will see everybody tomorrow. We'll be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow. My name is Dr. Doug Smith, and thank you for your time.